Greetings and welcome to Sanctuary. Probably you are all wondering by now which are those druid skills that are underappreciated. Perhaps you are thinking that the entire class is underappreciated, let alone a few skills. And you are right, compared to all other classes, the druid does feel kind of weaker early game. However, this is exactly the reason why I decided to make this video. Because most of the skills that I'm about to show you will definitely help you storm through the early levels in Diablo 4 without feeling the need to get any legendaries whatsoever. I tested it myself, those skills are pretty fun and not many players use them, so let's take a look at them. We are going to start with the first skill, Lightning Storm. Usually when it comes to the core skills with Druid, people have the tendency to choose most of the time Pulverize or Landslide. And don't get me wrong, those two are pretty good as well, they have their place. However, I find Pulverize mediocre at best against bosses, and Landslide doesn't have the greatest AoE potential. In my opinion, Lightning Storm is something in the middle. In fact, the only Druid build without any legendaries that I enjoyed during the server slam was a Druid Lightning Storm build. It deals decent damage and you can preserve the size of the lightning, so if you spend your spirit wisely, you will have decent size lightning most of the time. In addition, it performs quite okay against bosses as long as you have the wolf's companions to distract them, thus you can kill the boss even without taking a single hit. So in a way, if you're searching for a quite fun druid build that can work early game without any legendaries, even at world tier 2, I will link my full video in the description so you can check it out. The second skill that people kind of underestimate is Boulder. This is extremely fun and useful skill that can deal massive damage and can be extremely good at crowd control as well. And I'm not talking about the fact that it has the knocking back effect. I also mean that 4-second stun exists and it can be achieved. The way to accomplish this is quite easy. You need another underappreciated druid skill, Provocation. Stay in bear form for 20 seconds then activate Boulder to more or less destroy everything in your way. Of course, if someone somehow survives, he will be stunned for 4 seconds, and on top of everything, Boulder has 20% increased critical hit chance. Just beautiful. Of course, I need to warn you that Provocation was extremely buggy during the beta, and sadly I don't keep my recordings where I used to use it with Ravens and Boulder, but still, it is enough to be aware that this skill exists and it is extremely powerful and can deal massive damage, triggering other effects in the process, such as stun as we discussed earlier. Once again, remember, the skill that you use after the 20 seconds are done doesn't have to be a bear skill, it can be any skill. So remember, the skill will definitely overpower, which is extremely important. And the last skill I want to mention is Trample. This skill has it all: damage, crowd control, unstoppable effect and movement. I find it incredibly useful in dungeons when I have to clear trash mobs or even stronger elites. After all, during the beta most of the dungeons were full of narrow corridors and passages, so slamming your enemies into the walls was a piece of cake. All in all, very solid skill that you must consider, especially if you are planning to use mainly the bear form of the druid. Alright guys, as usual, if you find this video useful, please give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. Many more videos will follow on the release of the game. See you in Sanctuary.